Hi guys, welcome to Wiki Movie Channel. This time we have collected 10 thrillers released this year. Also, some of them were presented around the world at the end of 2020. Unfortunately, there are not a lot to watch now. Cinema studios are holding back the best movies for those times when people will be allowed to go to the cinemas without any restrictions. Well, let's not waste any time and begin. Fear of Rain. High school student Rain tries to live a normal life, but there is a problem. The girl suffers from schizophrenia. Medicines help fight the disease, but they also have negative side effects. Therefore, Rain has no friends, except the new student at their school named Caleb. The situation is complicated when one day Rain noticed that neighbor in the house opposite is holding a kidnapped girl in the attic. From this movie, you shouldn't expect too much. This is a chamber thriller with a small budget and little-known actors. There are bright characters here. There is their own intrigue and light atmosphere. 10th place. Fear of Rain. Don't Tell a Soul. Two brothers, Matt and Joe, live on outskirts in a poor industrial area of a small town. Their father died several years ago, and their mother suffers from cancer. There is no money to pay the bills. And so, the guys decide to rob one of the neighbor houses. However, on their way out, they encounter a guard patrolling the area. Small chase through the forest, and now a man is laying on a deep well with a damaged leg. The teenagers are faced with the question of what to do next. And soon, events are rapidly gaining unpredictable momentum. Not a bad thriller with a very simple plot, but with a couple of good twists underneath. The story is quite capable of captivating, and we advise you to watch it. 9th place. Don't Tell a Soul. Girl in the Basement. Don, the head of the family, is a demanding tyrant. His wife has long come to terms with this state of affairs. The eldest daughter went to college, but the youngest, Sarah, is only planning a future trip after her 18th birthday. But these plans are not destined to come true, since Don doesn't intend to lose his youngest daughter either. One day he lures Sarah into a soundproof room in the basement, which no one in the family knows about, closes the door and tells everyone that Sarah has escaped on a long-awaited journey. The girl gets into a real nightmare, a cruel thriller about the horrors that a person is capable of. And the worst thing is that this movie is based on a real story that happened in Austria at the end of the last century, where the psychopath Joseph Fritz kept his daughter Elisabeth in the bomb shelter of an apartment building. 8th place. Girl in a Basement. Way Down. Up-and-coming British student Tom receives an unexpected offer from Walter, a mysterious and reticent value dealer. The treasure he found was seized by Spanish government and placed in the Bank of Spain. Now Walter needs Tom's skills to steal his find. How the 100-year-old mechanism works in a bank's vault is a mystery to the whole world. But an even more serious problem for Walter's team is the bank's formidable chief of security, Gustavo Medina. This is a moderately dynamic thriller that can also be attributed to the adventure genre. The movie is quite interesting. This is no violence or other hard scenes. You can safely watch it with your family. 7th place. Way Down. The Woman in the Window. Anna Fox suffers from an anxiety disorder and agoraphobia, the fear of leaving her house. She is unsuccessfully treated by a psychotherapist, uses tons of antidepressants, and, at the night, drinks them with the wine and watches Hitchcock's classics. In such condition, one of the few her entertainments is spying on neighbors. Those have extremely toxic relationship, constant fights, and once something terrible happens in their house. And the only witness is the main character Anna, a detective thriller that is of course inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window. This movie for a long time could not get on the screens due to the huge amount of rework during production, and as a result, it turns out to be much weaker than the Hitchcock's film, but at the same time, not so bad as not to choose it for one-time viewing. Nevertheless, there are unexpected twists and turns and mysteries, which will be revealed closer to the finale, and of course, a really tense atmosphere. 6th place. The Woman in the Window. Things heard and seen. When George gets a teaching position in a small-town university, his wife, Catherine, unfortunately agrees to give up her usual social circle and follow her husband for the sake of his career. In their new location, they find a gorgeous, spacious home for an affordable price. However, very soon Catherine notices inexplicable mystical phenomena in the house. In addition, even though she and her husband have been together for a long time, she understood what kind of person he is and whether everything is so fine in the family. The film is an adaptation of the book by Elisabeth and really combines many genres. It begins as a horror film, develops as a family drama, and ends up as a psychological thriller. And the main problem of this movie is that the creators haven't yet decided what genre should be prevail here. Therefore, it is difficult to find its viewer. But if each of the listed genres is interesting for you, then you will not regret watching this movie. 5th place. Things Heard and Seen. The Dry. The police officer, Aaron Falk, returns to his hometown to say goodbye to his childhood friend, Luke, after some years. Luke committed suicide after killing his wife and child. The protagonist decides to conduct his own investigation and soon discovers a connection between this incident and the death of a 17-year-old girl a few years ago. But the locals are not happy with Aaron's return. In his youth, he found himself a difficult situation, after which the locals changed their attitude towards him. A leisurely but exciting film that combines elements of thrillers, detective, and drama. The intrigue is perfectly supported in the movie, right up to the very end, as well as it will delight you with an unexpected upshot. 4th place. The Dry. The Little Things. Joey Dickon was a good detective in Los Angeles Homicide Department, but broke down on an unsolved case, and now he is a regular cop in a quite small town. Arriving on a business at his former station, he discovers there a young, ambitious sergeant, Jim Baxter, who is investigated 4 cases of girls' murder. These crimes are too similar to those that still keeps Dickon awake at night, and he joined the investigation. The script for the film was written back in the 90s, and the film perfectly recreates the gloomy atmosphere typical for detectives of those years. This is a good neo-noir thriller with an excellent cast. 3 Oscar winners play here at once, and although the film contains some cliches typical for genre, in some places the movie surprises with rather unexpected twists. 3rd place. The Little Things. I Care a Lot. Marla Grayson works as a guardian who is appointed by the court to the elderly following a medical examination. But old people don't really need this care. Marla runs cunning scan together with her accomplice friend, the doctor who writes the conclusion and the director of the clinic, where the unfortunate victims languish under tranquilizers while their homes are sold out and the accounts are rapidly emptying. However, one day Marla runs into trouble when she sends the cute old woman Jennifer Patterson to the clinic, a fascinating and rather caustic comedy thriller, in which Rosamund Pike again perfectly tried the role of the unscrupulous swindler. There are practically no positive characters in the movie, but watching the confrontation between villains is no worse. 2nd place. I Care a Lot. The Mauritanian. 2001, the month after a terrorist attack in New York, the American Special Services arrest the Mauritanian Mohamed Ould Slahi on suspicion of involvement in terrorism. He is sent to Guantanamo prison without any evidence, where Mohamed will have to spend a lot of years undergoing constant torture. There is a trial ahead, and human rights activist Nancy Hollander is taking on the notoriously fatal case. The film is based on a true story and combines the genres of drama as well as the political and judicial thriller. The story is shocking and touching, and most importantly, it is still relevant for today's. Therefore, this is not only an interesting but also a really important movie. 1st place. The Mauritanian. Well, this is it. Thanks for watching. Share your movie impressions in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and put the big thumbs up. See you. Bye.